to wrap up this conference, we invite our last speaker of today's conference, Vesa Shehu, to the scene. She's a regional coordinator at Regional Challenge Fund, who will be talking about youth empowerment through innovative project management in VET providers. Welcome, Vesa.
Hello everyone. Once again, since I didn't have the chance to meet and discuss with all of you, I'm really happy and pleased to be here today, especially since I'm going to share, let's say, some very good news. And in addition to Mirza, that was more focused about, let's say, opportunities, funding opportunities in Albania. I'm going to share the information about funding opportunities, not only in Albania, but also in Kosovo and in the region as well. The topic that I'm going to discuss is, as we are more or less in the same session with Besnik and Mirza, empowering youth through education. But what exactly is that and how we are doing it through the projects that I'm currently involved, more exactly Regional Challenge Fund and Kosovo Challenge Fund. I'm going to present it now, but bearing in mind that it's the last session and more or less I know that it was a long day. You are maybe a bit boring. I'm going to make, let's say, a presentation a bit more interactive, and especially since I'm a fan of, let's say, having those interactive presentations, just feel free to interfere me and ask questions whenever you think that you need further explanations that I'm going to present. So I'm curious to know that if we have, I'm pleased to see that in the audience we have youngsters. Do we have any, let's say, of the persons here that has not been involved in any of the projects, no matter in the school, university, or maybe also at the workplace?
If you're talking about project management, I'm actually training to be a project manager from an office assistant to a junior project manager. It's been maybe 3 weeks now, theoretically, and the practical part.
Okay, thank you.
This is very interesting for me.
Yeah, thank you very much for sharing. And actually, the idea is that no matter you have been involved before or not in the project manager, the presentation is dedicated to all the audience, and especially actually, let's say, to give you more hints and trigger you about forcing further and, let's say, discovering opportunities for the future and more stronger career in the project management. So what exactly will be the presentation about? We will actually emphasize the crucial role of the VET providers, that the acronym just explained that stands for Vocational Education and Training Providers. That is not about only teaching technical skills to the youth, but it's about building skills for the future professionals. More or less, we are referring to education as the toolkit for the future and for a successful career. In addition to that, I'm going to present about the projects that I'm currently involved, as I mentioned, Regional Challenge Fund that operates in the regional level, and Kosovo Challenge Fund that operates in the national level, and actually what's the importance of aligning the education system with the labor market needs, and especially bearing in mind here the rapid changes and advancements that are happening, and with a special focus in the ICT sector. All of this that I mentioned, I'm going to, let's say, mention and shortly introduce, bearing in mind the limited time of presentation, how we are using the project-based approach to successfully implement the projects. What about, what are RCF and KCF? Before starting, once again, let's have that interaction together. Have you heard before about these two projects, RCF or neither, KCF? Okay, yes, of course. We have Besnik here that actually I'm pleased that he's here present with us today. And he is one of the awarded project and consortia as part of the RCF. None of the others haven't heard about projects. So happy that I'm going to present them more. Both projects actually are a financing facility designed to increase youth employability and boost competitiveness of enterprises in the whole 6 countries of the Western Balkan regions. Here referring to Albania, Kosovo, North Macedonia, Montenegro, Serbia, and Bosnia and Herzegovina. How is this possible? It's through funding investments in selected projects that are implemented through mandatory partnerships between VET providers and companies. So the target group stands to vocational training institutes and cooperative enterprises. Here to mention that in regards to the vocational training institutes or VET providers, I'm referring to the professional schools at the upper secondary level, vocational training centers, as well as tertiary level, referring to faculties or universities that has the professional technical profiles. The projects are opened and do support public as well as private sector. What economic sectors we do provide through the projects? We're open to all economic sectors, even though to the announcements that I'm going to make in the upcoming slides, there we have agiled a bit to the upcoming calls. And in where actually regions we are present, as I mentioned, in the whole Western Balkan regions, and what's the project that we do have. The total budget for RCF is 64.3 million euros that is financed by the Ministry of Germany, more exactly Ministry of Economic Development and Cooperation, and co-financed by Swiss governance, represented by SDC, Swiss Development Corporation, with an additional 10 million euros. Here at RCF, as the regional partner, we have CIF, that stands for the Joint Chamber Investment Forum, joint initiative of the regional chambers. And actually, it is dedicated to delivering grants, as I mentioned, to the target groups. In addition to the RCF in Kosovo, we do have an additional project that is financed only by the Ministry of Economic Development and Cooperation, by the German government, that is Kosovo Challenge Fund. And let's say the difference with the RCF stands that the local partner that we do have is the Ministry of Education of Kosovo, of course. In Kosovo, the budget is only 7 million euros, comparing, of course, to the larger budget of the RCF. What's the duration of the projects? At both projects, we started in 2021. Initially, RCF was planned to be ended in 2025, but bearing in mind, let's say, the interest that we got from the audience and the large number of applications that we have received so far, the project has been extended to the 2028, while KCF is opened until July 2026. Now, let's say, leave the numbers speak for themselves and show what exactly we have supported through the projects. In the regional level, we have supported 99 projects that covers the joint project between 105 VTIs in collaboration with 528 partnering enterprises. It involves 4,200 students per year, and the dedicated, or let's say better, the committed investments to those projects is 44 million euros. But what exactly we are supporting? We are supporting investments in vocational training institutes that are dedicated to the infrastructures, more exactly, let's say, such as renovations, adaptations, or even extensions of the annexes. We are supporting new equipment in order to have the modern laboratories in the schools, as well as we are supporting advisory and training services, such as training of teachers, training of company trainers, updating curricula, and so on. What are the sectors that we are supporting through the projects that we are financing? Top five, three sectors in the regional level are mechanical engineering and metalworking, ICT, trade, hospitality and tourism, electrical engineering, and health and social care. This corresponds to the occupations that are supporting in line with the sectors such as CNC technicians, web development, software development, medical nurse, electrotechnicians, and so on. But what exactly I know that since the majority of the audience is from Kosovo, what exactly we have supported in Kosovo? Let's say now a quiz question. Do you have an idea, even though you haven't heard about both projects, how much we have supported here in Kosovo through both projects? How much funding we have supported in Kosovo through both projects? Any clue? Let's say how many euros? A hint? In RCF was 75 million, while in KCF it was 7 million euros. I mean, since you're asking the question, I would assume quite some businesses, and you spend quite some money on it. I just feel bad that I actually didn't slide. Okay, so now I'm going to show. And it's really quite some money. And when I'm taking to how much we have spent, I'm referring to the direct investments that we have committed to the vocational training providers in the joint projects with the partnering enterprises. In total, it is 12.2 million euros that we have committed for investments in Kosovo in both projects. It involves 28 schools from the public and private sectors in joint partnership with 101 partnering companies. The sectors that, let's say, are more dominant are manufacturing and ICT, followed by construction and healthcare. But yeah, of course.
Do you have any KPI to measure the outcomes of these investments?
Yes, of course. As part of the projects now, actually, I'm going to show that we do use different tools, project management tools. And one of the main KPIs, as you can see, are number of the students that are involved in the practical parts in the schools, as well as in the exposure of the workplace. In addition to that, we're going to have the number of the students that are going to be trained as part of the projects that we are supported, number of schools, and so on.
Okay, but since one of the main objectives was employability as well.
Exactly.
Do you measure the employability of those students?
Number of students that are going to be employed after the completion of the trainings.
So you have the numbers, right?
Yeah, of course. Actually, it's part of the mandatory documents that each application has to be listed once they get awarded. And once we agree during the negotiation phase, it's part of the funding agreements that we do sign with the BTS.
While I understand the project is still ongoing, do you have any number right now how many students have already employed from these?
The project has started in 2025. Some of the projects has started the implementation. Yeah, now we are in the phase of procuring the investments that we have been awarded, because in addition to giving investments, we as a project also take care of the procurement of the goods. So we are in the phase of procuring the goods, and let's say by the middle of this year, we are starting also with the implementation phase. And I believe by the next year, why not in the next conference of the PMable, I'm going to show the real statistics of what we have achieved so far, and the number of students that are being employed through the projects that we have supported. You're welcome. So, and actually how you are making all of this possible. Of course, all of this is making possible through using project management practices. Otherwise, it's going to be, let's say, a lost space that how we would manage all those kind of projects awarded, how to track them, how we're going to monitor them, and all these sites. So through using project management practices, we are kind of aligning what is the need by the market and what exactly we are going to deliver. In addition to that, we are paying, let's say, also from my experience that I do have as a project manager, it's very crucial the communication that we have with the stakeholders. Here referring to the key ones, but also to the all related one. Crucial to our projects is to maintain, let's say, a healthy and successful collaboration between the schools, partner enterprises, and the donors that are involved in the implementation of the projects. But to have a more impactful and lasting projects, of course, the innovative project management comes in. And how we're doing it through our projects, it's about we do have structured implementation processes within the projects. And in addition to that, we have digitalized, let's say, a majority part of our process. We do have an internal software which is dedicated to the grant management system that tracks the awarded projects, monitor them, and provide us with real data about the progress of the projects. In addition to that, we do have the digitalized portfolio project management, and of course there's a tracking tools that we do use for the collaboration with the key stakeholders. So it's about the main core, and actually also the tagline of the projects that we do have, that it's about building skills that gives to the output of transforming businesses. How we are doing it, actually, it seems that the presentation that I've sent over to Denise wasn't the last one that I prepared. I did some changes, and now I'm happy to share with you that we're going to have the fourth call opened within a few weeks, more exactly on 7th of April. The next RCF call is being opened, and it is, as I mentioned, dedicated to all sectors, all public and private VTIs in partnership with companies to apply and get awarded. What we do support, the funding amount varies from 150,000 euros to 500 euros. The investments, as I mentioned, goes to works, new equipment, and training advisory. But here I would like to emphasize that actually the direct investments goes only to the VTIs, referring to the VET providers. Why are there, if you're asking the companies are needed to give the students the opportunity to be exposed to the workplace. So we're going to have the combination of three aspects. It means that what we're doing through our projects is supporting students, first of all, in schools with theoretical technical skills. In addition to that, we are providing modern laboratories where students will have the opportunities to, let's say, allow their technical skills in the practical settings, and all of this will be combined when students will go to the partnering companies and there exactly to be exposed to their future workplace. So with combination of these three aspects, we are going to have, once the students graduate, let's say, job-ready professionals, where the students actually are ready to work. At the same time, companies as the final beneficiaries will have the skilled professional employees. One of the challenges actually that companies as of now are mostly facing, and all studies showing, is that the lack of the skilled employees. And that is why actually we are going to, let's say, give the companies. In the end, just I would like to emphasize that RCF is not about only transforming skills and building skills and transforming businesses. By transforming businesses, I'm referring a meaning to having them more competitive and innovative. But in addition to that, we do support also 3 major aspects that stands for inclusion, meaning that we do make our project that we do support more exactly profiles open and attractive to all genders and social groups. We do support green and digitalized practices by investments we do support, but in addition to that, we do organize different awareness campaigns as well as online and on-site events, conferences to emphasize and to raise awareness about green practices. And in the end, it's all about increasing and strengthening the regional cooperation between all the 6 countries. So I would like to thank you once again for your attention. If you have any questions, as I said, I'm very happy. And I would kind of, let's say, conclude the presentation saying that investing in the education is not only teaching students, but it's about building their skills and building our future in order to have stronger companies, which reflects to the stronger economies of other countries. Thank you.